Shalom, everybody. This is Betty Erica, aka Daughter of the Most High, Daughter of the Most High Ministries. And as you all know, I'm trying to get into seeing options for my name. The Lord is still guiding me when it comes to that, but I do know that I am the daughter of the Most High, priestess for the Lord. And just to be clear, um, I give revelations, okay? I give revelations based upon what the Lord shows me and teaches me and tells me as He has given me the wisdom to pass it on to the the biblical body of Christ, as well as the church. People who love the Lord of all nations, but first to the people of the Most High, Yashael, to spread the knowledge. Okay, moving right along. So, um, this topic is I keep fixing my breastplate because for some reason YouTube don't like this. They keep blocking it out when I'm teaching. And I wonder why, because they know we the scattered 12 tribes, and this represents the scattered 12 tribes and a part of the priesthood. So, I try to bring it up so people can actually see it because they love to block this out, which represents the 12 tribes. Anyway, um, so yeah, this lesson is part of the priesthood. The priesthood and the biblical priesthood and the biblical Yashaelites, Hebrew Yashaelites. And this lesson is based upon the clothing and the way that what they wore, as I said in my last video, in concerns of how Rome trodden down the priesthood and took over the Bible, over the customs of the biblical priests. So this lesson is about the biblical priests, specifically the tribes of Judah and Levite and the scattered 12 tribes that are ordained for the priesthood. But really the Levite priest is what we're talking about here on this particular subject. So I want to go into this because he showed me this right yesterday. He said, go to Exodus, and I went to Exodus and I obeyed the Father, and the Father showed me this, okay? So this is Exodus 28, because remember, as I told you guys, that they did not dress like this. Now, they were forced to dress like this when the Greeks took over, but however, they dressed like this man down here, who has the turban over his head and the robes. And he looked frustrated from all this. He looked like just frustrated from how they're making, changing the customs. You see the turban on his head. You see the robe he has on. Okay. So, this is what the Lord has shown me. Okay. This is Exodus chapter 28. And it says here, hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. It says, and you shall speak unto all that are wise hearted, whom I have filled with the Ruach Chokmah, which means spirit of wisdom, that they make Aaron garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me the priest's office. And these are the garments and the ephod and a robe and a broidered coat, a turban and a belt, that they should make holy garments for Aaron your brother, his sons. Okay? And they shall take gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen. And I'm just going to read it. And they shall make an ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of twined linen, and cunning work. It shall have the two shoulder plates thereof joined at the two edges thereof. And so it shall be joined together. And the belt of the ephod which is upon it shall be of the same according to the work thereof, even gold of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twine, linen. And you shall taken 2 onyx stones and grave on them the names of the children of Yashael. So see right here, and it goes on to say, this is 28, Exodus 28 verse 9 and 10. And the children of six of their names, okay? You see that? Okay. 6 of their names on the stone, and on other 6 names of the rest of the other stone according to their birth, with the work of an engraver and stone like the engravings of a cynic. Shall you engrave the 2 stones with the names of the children of Yashael? You shall make them to be set in ouches of gold. And you shall put the 2 stones upon the shoulders of the ephod for the stones of memorial until the children of Yashael and Aaron shall bear their names before Ahiah, which is Yahuwah, upon his 2 shoulders for a memorial. And you shall make ouches of gold and 2 chains of purple gold, and ends wherein work shall you make them, and fasten the wreathen chains to the ouches. So the Lord is explaining them how to put the ephod together. And it was actually first started made with the linen and the stones engraved into it, you know, and the gold and the purple and all these things. Now, it's interesting now in the music industry, the enemy is such a mockery of the Most High. People, be careful serving this wicked devil and this Babylonian system and the practices of Egypt, okay? Because in the industry, back in the day, when they first sign an artist, the first thing they want to do is give them a gold chain. Okay? Now, the people who know who they are, which is the heathens who actually own the industry, they make a mockery of God's children all the time, just so the devil can go back and basically, hey, accuse the brethren, you know, the children of Yashael. Like, look what he's doing. He's mocking you. Now, it's nothing wrong with wearing jewelry. You know how I want to say? I don't know. I just know that it's been throughout the generation to generation to generation, but it was to represent the Most High, the royalty, the royal priesthood, and the way they wore their stuff. I'm going to show you some pictures soon. And the way they wore their stuff was based off of royalty and representation of the Most High. Now, it's a mockery because, like, they put them in chains, and they know the original Levite, the priesthood, they wore their chains of the breastplate to represent the Father. So keep that in mind. Now, let's go to some things that the Lord has really shown me when it comes to, like I said, they didn't wear the Abraham Lincoln hats that you see those so-called Jews wear. They didn't wear that. They didn't wear that little circle, little cap to fit their little bald head. They didn't do that. They never wore that. That is a Catholic. If you notice, it's similar to the Catholicism ways because they mix all these practices together and the practices of the Most High, the biblical Bible, they mix in with their Babylonian practices. Okay, the priests, the biblical priests, the Yashaelites, aka Hebrews, they did not wear their little circle hat. They wore turbans. Okay. They wore a full turban to cover up their head. And they wore robes. They wore robes, and they dressed like Africans, like the African royalty kings. And we're going to get into that. So they wore that, and they were different colors and things like that, just like Joseph had a coat of many colors, okay? They didn't have black and white. that plain color, black and white. They didn't have that. They had colors. They had colors. Okay, Lord made the colors. Okay, so furthermore, I would like to say that because there's a misunderstanding on how. See, just because you see a people dressing as if they are holy, with those Abraham Lincoln hats or those little bitty hats, and they European style, which is really, I want to say, is more like pilgrim, pilgrim. Exactly, Lord, thank you, Father. Pilgrim. They dress like pilgrims with that black and white European style, with the shirt and the coat, the black coat, and the pants, and the belt and all that. And then the on the other hand, the Catholic priests wore the same type of hairstyle, but they dress with robes of crosses all over, with the Catholicism look, the modern day quote unquote Christianity look, as a holy quote unquote priest, when they was far from that. I'm not saying all of them, but most of them were very much so snakes and child molesters. So I just want to say, just because you see people dressed like that don't mean that they have the Father in them. It's not in their hearts. It's not in their hearts. Why? It was bestowed in Yashael. It was in the priesthood hearts. It was in them, in the word. They knew they were afraid to obey at the time. Okay, until they started adapting on these Babylonian traditions. Okay, so hopefully this doesn't be the longest of the long video, but I had to cover this topic. Okay, now we're gonna go to Exodus 28. And this is 28 verse 27. And the two other rings of gold, okay, and the two other rings of gold you shall make, and shall put them on the two sides of the ephod, underneath towards the forepart thereof, over against the other copling thereof, above the belt of the ephod. And they shall bind the breastplate by the rings thereof unto the rings of the ephod, with a lace of blue, that it may be above the belt of the ephod, and that the breastplate be not loose from the ephod. In other words, this one right here doesn't really have it, but if you look closer, oh yeah, it does. These little circles right here. So it can be close to the chain and close to the ephod on either side. This is what the Lord is giving them instructions on. Okay, so furthermore, let's go down to verse 31. And you shall make, okay, y'all see that? And you shall make the ephod, make the robe of the ephod all of blue. Okay, that's one verse. Now let's go up here. Okay, 37. And you shall put it on the blue lace, that it may be upon the turban. Upon the forefront of the turban it shall be. Also of the head. Now I have some pictures to show you guys, but let me just keep going through these verses. Now verse 39. Okay, verse 39. Right here. Verse 39. Okay, if you can see that. Okay. It says, and you shall embroider the coat of fine linen, and you shall make the turban of fine linen, and you shall make the belt of needlework. And for Aaron's sons you shall make coats, and you shall make for them belts, and bonnets shall you make for them, for glory and for, what does that say? What does that say? Beauty. Beauty. For glory and for beauty. Okay? For glory and for beauty. the Lord is not a plain God, okay? And then it goes on to say, and you shall put the turban upon his head. Now this is Exodus 29 verse 6. And you shall put the turban upon his head, the holy crown upon the turban. Now I want to go into that. Let's stop right there. First, let me make sure you guys can see this, because this is very, very important. Okay. Okay. And it says, and you shall, can you see that? And you shall put the turban upon his head and put the holy crown upon the turban. Now, let me show you what the Lord is talking about. Now, God bless this sister. However, she got this true image of Yashael before the curses came about, and she uncovered the Most High. She uncovered the Most High's true name, which is Ahiah. So this right here, okay? You see that? Wait, let's make sure. Second. Hold on. Right here. This is exactly what the Lord's talking about. The turban and the crown upon the turban. Okay, this is before the curses of Deuteronomy 28. And as you can see, it says the Lord's real name, which is Ahiah, which is right, right here, Ahiah. And Sister Carrie Ann, she was the first one that actually put that out there, that the Lord gave her the revelation of his true name and the true name of Jacob, Yashael. She was the first one that covered that. May the Lord bless her for that. So, yeah, you see the turban, you see the crown. These are the real priests, okay? You want to go further? Let's go a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit deeper when it comes to the priest. And I show you guys this all the time. This is a Levite priest right here. The Levite priest wearing the ephod, the same ephod the Lord is talking about, the breastplate. You see the robe he has on, you see the turban he has on his head, and he's going into captivity. But they still showed him respect as a priest, that he may comfortably sit down. Okay, and this is probably way before the Atlantic slave trade. This is probably one of the other captivities, because Israel just keep going in and out of captivity for mainly for disobedient to the Most High, as Yashael, and that's what I meant to say. Yashael keep going in and out of Egypt, in and out of captivity for many years, mainly for the sake of disobedience. And because the Lord punishes children first before he punished the world. He really disciplines his children. He's hard on his children, his own children. And it's like, until you guys get it, hey, this is what's going to be happening. And that's why so many black men are in jail and this and that and stuff. Now let's go with the Messiah himself. And I truly believe this is the Messiah. He has on a robe. Okay, he may not have a turban on at that time. He's already holy. But he does have on that robe. So, yeah, I believe that that's him. And then there's just so many other pictures, which is very, very, very similar. Like this one, for instance. I have to show this one, because this is in the neck is very, very similar. So I'm just like, Lord, because I remember there was a Russian book artifact, like one of the from one of the soldiers himself. He witnessed like how this black stubby man can be so holy and have these miracles done. So this is, yeah, this is the Messiah. That's the Messiah, guys. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Look at that neck. Look at the robe. Yeah, he didn't come as a very, very, very attractive man. He didn't want people looking at him in that kind of way. Otherwise, they would have, the Lord came very humble to his people first, and to the nations to accept him. And so you have that, and then let me just show you the captivity. Yeah, so right here. And if it wasn't true, who the true Yashael people are, why would they make this up? You know, they could have a Chinese person, they could have a Mexican person. They could say instead of saying the true artifacts of the Hebrews, they could say the true artifacts of the Latino Hebrews, the true artifacts of the Asian Hebrews, the true artifacts of whatever. They could say that, but no. This is stuff is the things that the very things that they tried to hide and sweep up under the rug. This is a priest wearing the robe, the turban, the breastplate. Okay? Once again, the first council of Nisa. All these black faces in the council, not trying to wear that, but look at this priest right here. Like I said, once again, he's wearing the original clothes. He's wearing the original clothes, okay? You see that? He has the turban, he has the robe, and he has the scrolls in his hand. He has the actual scriptures, the scrolls in his hand. And it looks like the Lord is speaking to him. And he's probably already frustrated by now because of all of the negotiations going on. And how they're trying to just rip these very Bibles out of these priests' hand. You know? And trotting it down and take over it. So, that being said, let me go into something else the Lord has showed me, okay? So, are you men, when you get with these heathen people? Now, I'm not saying, I don't know when it comes to dating outside the race. I don't know. I have done it. I know that. But I know now the Lord is really getting on my case about it. And it's basically because of most of the people outside of your race don't have the Lord in their hearts. They don't. Okay, here is Jezebel and Ahab. Okay, look at that. Look at that robe he has on as a king, with that king crown, and his African clothing, Hebrew. And look at this Jezebel Canaanite. Okay, so let's read it. And just know that people names represent the Lord, the Most High. I'm gonna do a video when it comes to the names, because I know my name, Betty, is an oath of God, which a lot of black elderly women name is Betty, because I'm named after my grandmother, for one. It means an oath of God. Emmett means, it's a Hebrew name. Emmett is a Hebrew name, just like Emmett Till. It was definitely a Hebrew name. And, you know, a lot of the other Europeans, they have adapted these names. Okay? We didn't adapt that name. That name is of God, because the Yah and the Y, Betty, you know, in certain dialogues of names is of people. Like, okay, Deborah, she changed her name to Deborah Yah. Okay? Like I said before, my Nigerian friend, her last name is something with Yah. Yah. At the end, WAH. Because the Lord wanted to represent he do want to represent his name. He wants us to represent his people. So just as they did that, Jezebel represent her God name, which is Baal, 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 Jezebel. So reading this, it says right here, and I got this information from Thoughts Camera Action. That's his name, Thoughts Camera Action, guys. Check him out. Provoking thought. I know the brother don't mind. So it says, the Canaanite princess and queen of the nation of Israel, ruling beside her husband, King Ahab, whose values and beliefs thought her into violent conflict with those of her adopted country. So she was a Canaanite. She was definitely a Canaanite. Jezebel was a Canaanite. Her father was a Phoenician, King Ethabal. He was a Phoenician, of the Phoenicians, of the Greeks, mixed in with Persian and Babylonian practices, okay? Very, very wicked queen. Very wicked queen. And made her husband, Ahab, who was a Yashaelite, do wicked stuff. And that's one reason of the saying, like, behind every strong man is a strong woman. Behind a wise king is a wise queen. So you got to be careful who you date out here. You got to be careful who you marry. So I just wanted to lay that down. And there's a few more things I want to go over, okay, when it comes to the true Yashaelites. And then I'm almost done with this video. So, yeah. Now that we went over the priesthood and the clothing thereof, let's go over Numbers 28 verse 5. Now the Lord has showed me that fried chicken is deeply from the Levites in the Bible. After Exodus and everything, these are the instructions of the Lord, telling them what to eat, how to eat, what to sacrifice, how to sacrifice to him. So it's also in Leviticus, fried chicken. So this is Numbers 28 verse 5. In the 10th part of the ephah of flour, okay? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but let's just say, for an obligation mingle with the flour part of a hen of beating oil. It is continual ascending smoke offering, which was ordained in Mount Sinai for a sweet savory, a sacrifice made by fire unto Ahia. Okay? So, yeah, that's Numbers 28 verse 5. Talk about fried chicken. Let's do another. Let's look at another verse of fried chicken. Numbers, Leviticus. Okay, let's look at Leviticus 7. No, I'm sorry. Leviticus chapter 2 verse 7. And if your offering be an obligation, baken in the frying pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil. Now, we know all these Middle Eastern food and stuff like that, and they say that that's the Jewish way. No, it's not. That's not the Hebrew way. That's not the way the Hebrews used to cook at all. Why you think when the Yashaelite Hebrews were in captivity after the Atlantic slave trade, they cooked for the masters, and the masters took that and made it their American way of food. It was soul food. It was fried chicken. It was yams. It was collard greens. It was cornbread, okay? It was oxtails, okay? Which oxtails can be cooked in an African tradition, like Jamaicans cook oxtails. African people cook oxtails, but everybody make it different from, because they kind of adapt to the ways of where they make it. And Yashael had their own special way of making it, and fried chicken was number one. Fried chicken and pancakes, okay? That's why you got chicken and waffles and stuff like that, because the pancakes, which all the mammies brought to America, that's in the Bible too. Honey cakes is in the Bible. The Lord talks about the cakes with the oil on it, flat cakes. And that's really pancakes, okay? The sweet cakes with the honey. I believe this is, what part of that? I don't know if this is, don't let me get it wrong, but I know that King David's son, when he got this wicked feeling in his heart over his sister, Dana, he wanted her to make him some honey cakes. That was pancakes. That was actually pancakes for breakfast, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, it says, with fine flour and oil, and you shall bring the obligation that is made of these things to Ahiah. And when it is presented unto the priest, he shall bring it unto the altar, and the priest shall take from the obligation. So this is fried chicken. The Lord already told them how to make fried chicken in a frying pan. Okay? Who makes chicken in a frying pan? Black people. Black people and other people who have took that recipe and went along with it. Okay? Colonel Chicken didn't make that by himself. He had slaves. Their grandfathers taught that tradition to them from their slaves. Frying pan and oil, okay? And we know that other cultures fry their meat, but do they use flour? That's the difference. This is flour. This is frying, the Lord specific, with fine flour and oil mingled together. You take that chicken, you season that chicken, that fried chicken, that which it says in Numbers, what did I just say in Numbers and in Leviticus. You take that hen, you season that hen, you take that flour and you mix it all in with that flour. You put your oil in your pan, make it real hot, and you put that chicken in there, honey. You eat it, all of it, except the bone. I love fried chicken. I'm not going to lie. I grew up off of fried chicken. My grandmother cooked fried chicken. That is our tradition all the way, 100%. No hands, if, ands, ways about it, honey. Fried chicken, candy yams, cornbread. Oh, it's also have canned yams in the Bible. Now, I think I've been trying to find the scripture because it's not in your main Bible. It's in Maccabees. Maccabees talks about, I believe it's in Maccabees that talks about yams, candy yams. And once I find it, I will do a video on that. So, now that everybody know who the priesthood is, who the priesthood belongs to, where the wisdom was given first to and passed down to the nations. And now we know who the true Yashael is and the Hebrews are. With that being said, we pray Psalms 91 on this channel. This is Betty Erica, Lady Bet, the daughter of the Most High Yah, signing off. Shalom.